I have so many thoughts on Kyshawn George. I want to start you off with a question that you're already going to know the answer to before I dig in. Who leads the Wizards in points created off assists this season?
Points created off assists? Probably him, I'm guessing. Yes.
It's fucking him. Kyshawn George has been amazing. I want to recognize that I don't expect all of the efficiency to hold. He is currently shooting 54.5% from three, 44.5% on pull-up triples. I think he's at like a 1,000,000,000% on catch-and-shoot triples. His clip at the rim is 15 of 18. That's pretty high, Mort. I don't know if you knew that. What I think...
That's something that I think is... Like, he's being selective, too, and I like that about him, because last year when he came in, I don't know if you remember, but it was like, I'm only going to shoot threes. This is going to be my role in the league. That was more or less like how he was pegged, like coming in. And so for him to suddenly say, no, you know what? Going into year two, I'm going to do more. I'm going to try to get to the line a little bit more. I'm going to try to convert at the rim a little bit more. I have a sneaky suspicion, Dan, that he's been speaking a lot to Corey Kispert and like picking his brain, because Corey is like one of the most underrated at rim finishers in the league and has been for like years. It wouldn't shock me if there's been some notes comparing there, because if George suddenly turns into someone who's just more than what we were supposed to be getting from him, major win for the Wizards.
That's interesting, because he doesn't, like, Corey Kispert doesn't really do what Kyshawn George is doing right now. Like, Kyshawn George is... They're having him like run the offense. He's running 7 pick and rolls per game, up from 2 last year. I echo the patience thing that you said when he's in the lane. I think it's helped get him. He's another one who's taking some audacious shot attempts at points, but he's getting deep on some of his drives or when he's coming around ball screens, and that's absolutely huge. He looks very comfortable. Again, the efficiency in all likelihood will not hold, but he is so comfortable getting off of those pull-ups. And I think when you're looking at the passing specifically, none of it is super complicated, but it's just as far as having his head up, like when he's dribbling the ball up the floor, being able to find guys if he's coming out of pick and rolls, like he can spray. He's going to see some of the, like, I should say some of the bigs. It's not like they have a ton of bigs on Washington. I'm very curious to see what he could do if there was more, like, rather than kicking out, if there was more lobs being thrown to Alex Sarr. Or even if there was more of like a traditional rim running big man on this team that's not, a Marvin Bagley, just to be clear. I don't know if this is someone you look at and say, oh, okay, he is going to run the offense. That's not what a lot of this is happening and it's still coming within the flow of Washington's offense. But this is like what he's doing right now. Even if the efficiency comes down, this feels like the actual player. I think maybe, and this is like the niche buy or sell, is if we're buying or selling that Kyshawn George is more than just a tertiary, like third or fourth creator on a team, I would buy it. I think there's more that he could do for the offense. And maybe once the shot making pulls back a little bit, perhaps I'll feel differently. But this is what they're seeing now. This is kind of just like fortunes altering for them from him. Of the young players, who has the highest upside offensively for the Wizards? It's probably still Sarr. He has 10 dunks this year, Mort. I think only 2 of them are out of alley-oops. How do you feel about that?
That's a weird way to spell Cam Whitmore in terms of the highest upside. No,
How's that MIP pick working out?
No, I mean, the answer is Alex Sarr, right? It's the
So
dunks.
who would be 2? Is it still Trey Johnson? Would you consider Koulibaly?
No. So I like Trey Johnson. I might legitimately have the offensive upside, strictly isolated offensive upside, in Cam Whitmore over Trey Johnson.
Wait, have Cam Whitmore over Trey Johnson?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Just because Trey Johnson as a shooter, definitely he's going to do more as a passer than Cam Whitmore.
Probably. There's something about Trey Johnson that there's something that I trust. Like he'll score. Like he'll find a way to score. Like he's a creative guy. He's skinny. He's not really that big. I wonder if he can absorb contact later on. I just like the physicality of Cam Whitmore a little bit more. I think for him, it's trying to cobble together in your mind, like, how can I be conducive towards winning? How can I apply myself more when I'm on the floor in terms of quality shot selection, in terms of understanding time and score, understanding my place in this hierarchy of the game, so I can level up organically.
Yeah, I think I would still go Trey Johnson over Cam Whitmore, though.
That's fair. I don't mind being wrong on this one because
you know what it is with Cam Whitmore? So we're now on his second team, and it's in the third year of just like he seems like this guy who should be playing more, and yet he's not this guy who is playing more. And that again, Trey Johnson's only very early into his NBA career. So if you had to rank, if you had to rank the hierarchy of importance for the Wizards' young players prospects, and we're including, so that'd be Sarr, Coulibaly, Trey Johnson, Bub Carrington, Kyshawn George, and Cam Whitmore. Like everybody? There's so many dudes on this team.
They have I love the way they constructed this. Alex Sarr, I think,
is one.
A little bit, with a bullet probably. So,
but by the way, shooting well from three to start the year, Alex Sarr too, and we saw some of that last season. I'm gonna say it right now, and I want to put this on record because I am a noted. I think Bilal Coulibaly is really good. The offensive concerns just with him or what the limitations are going to be are real. Yeah. I think Kyshawn George, I'm going to buy him as the second most important prospect on the Washington Wizards. You look at just as a wing body, what he could do defensively. If you're going to get what would be like a good wing comp in terms of facilitation for him. Like if you're going to look at the level of passing he's going to get, it's higher than a Jaylen Brown, but maybe not as much as a Jason Tatum, although it's still young. Could he be saddled with that type of playmaking responsibility? You give me that with this type of multi-level shot making from him, or at least the ability to get to the basket, draw. Maybe you want him to draw more fouls, but the ability to draw fouls, the 3-point shooting, being able to work on the ball, off the ball in general is basically what I'm getting at. I'm going to call him. Maybe I'm being a little quick here, but I think Kyshawn George is the second.
Well, you are historically premature. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got references for that. I know.
Well. So we agree it's Sarr 1, and we can talk.
You would have Cam Whitmore 2, or would you?
No. No. So not yet. I would have been considering it if he'd actually like landed the way I thought he would land in Washington. The fact that he hasn't is concerning. I'm not going to sit here and say, because I picked him for MIP, I'm just going to be stubborn. No, I mean, you're obviously right. The franchise doesn't trust him to play more than 17 minutes per game, so I can't sit here and justify that selection. The thing to me with Coulibaly is the fact that he's just so raw offensively, and we've seen it also in FIBA competition. He hasn't really stood out. Defensively, I think the upside is great. But you need to be a two-way player in today's game. So, like, even though you are historically premature, I'm actually going to buy into that and probably agree with you. It's going to be Kyshawn George at the number 2 spot here. Because I can't justify Trey Johnson at this point. I just can't.
Right. I mean, the way even Kyshawn George has rebounded this year on defense anyway, I think there's something weird if his foul rate was higher, and also if he wasn't he shot 75% at the line last year on minimal attempts, which is whatever, and now he's down to 62.5. Like there's something weird going on here, but I'm glad that I don't think I sold you, but I'm glad that we're at least on the same page. That the fact that we're having this conversation to where I don't think would we have even closed last year thinking about it. Probably not.
No.